The 7ARTISANS is a inexpensive Chinese manual-only lens. I don't say cheap because it doesn't feel cheap. The focus ring is super smooth and accurate. It's very quick. The aperture ring is smooth. It doesn't have indents or clicks, but you get used to that pretty quickly. It does only go to 16, so that's something to be aware of. If you buy a lens and you're thinking you're going to stop it down to 22 to do some longer exposure stuff, you might need to use an ND filter instead. The lens itself is all metal and it feels great. It's got some heft and it opens wide up to 1.8, which lets in a ton of light, but is also really, really good for manipulating the depth of field so that you can have your backgrounds out of focus and your subject clearly defined. It's a metal mount, metal barrel, it's got some heft to it. It's a really nice lens, and to be honest, I love this lens. This is actually my second one. I bought the first one with my Fuji X-T1 and used it quite a bit, and then when I sold that kit to purchase my Olympus Micro Four Thirds system, I've just recently repurchased this 7ARTISANS. This is in fact my lens that I'm using. This is not some lens I bought just for doing this review. I'm not going to get into all the specs. I assume that if you're here looking at this review, you've already got that figured out. But I will talk a little bit about using this lens. Like a lot of lenses, when you have the measurement of infinity, for example, if you just swing the lens over to the infinity mark, it's not actually going to be in focus. You need to bring it back just a hair. So if you go all the way to the end and then you bring it back just a hair, then you find that things tend to be a little bit crisper. As I mentioned before, it goes from 1.8, really wide open, down to 16, not 22. So again, not an issue for anything that I've encountered, but something to be aware of, that if you think you were getting a quote standard lens that went from one to the other, they don't all go down to f22. What I can say is this lens makes you want to go out and shoot. It makes you want to go out and have fun with your camera. And to me, that says it all. I have lenses that are autofocus that are very, very nice, but when I slap this lens on, I just want to go take photographs. I really don't know what else to say other than I fully recommend that you pick up one of these lenses and give it a try. It really is a pleasure to use, and the image results are phenomenal. It's just sort of a glorious, smooth, creamy look to your images. Slight vignetting you've seen on some of the photos. Some of these photos were more raw than others. Some were a little bit processed. But the end result is that you get some images that you're going to love. And using this lens is fun, it's quick and easy, and it just makes you want to get out the door and use your camera. And in the end, if that's not what photography is about, then I'm doing it wrong. Hey, if you liked my review of the 7ARTISANS 25mm lens, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Those likes really help. Leave a comment, whether you have a question, agree with what I have to say, disagree with what I have to say. All that helps YouTube understand that my video is worth sharing with others. Now grab your camera and go shooting. Now get out there and go shoot some photographs. Talk to you later. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.